Hello people of YouTube! The month of February is coming to an end and I decided to make a video on all the things that I've been really loving this month. This is not a sponsored video, this is just me sharing some of the things I love in the hopes that maybe some of you will be able to enjoy them too. I'm aware my bed isn't made, let's not talk about it. It's messy, I know. I have something in all different categories of stuff. Like music, makeup, books, etc. So hopefully some of these things you will not have heard of before and you'll be able to get some enjoyment out of them. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite song this month. And I will say without a doubt that is the song Best Friend by Sophie Tucker. Spelled a little differently. Sorry about that. I was just listening to that song and dancing vigorously. Whew. It's such a good song. It has just like an amazing beat, an amazing bass line. Just a freaking awesome song to dance to. When I hear it, I physically can't sit still. Like, I must dance to it. And it's so fun to dance to. I'll try to put a clip of it. But if you don't know the song, Best Friend by Sophie Tucker, you should seriously check it out. Seriously. The next thing I'm going to talk about is makeup. And my awesome makeup find this month has been Miss A Makeup, which I made like a whole video about it, which I'll link below, but it's basically a website where they have all different kinds of makeup and everything is $1 each. And the stuff is surprisingly good quality. So yeah, I guess I picked two of my favorite things from there. So the first is this olive green, apparently waterproof eyeliner. I'm wearing it right now just over my top lashes. It's just this really beautiful green color. It's a little shimmery and it just brightens up your whole eye. The other thing is this like little pot of glitter. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if that's gonna focus. I happen to love glittery things. This is very glittery. And if you put a little bit of eyeshadow on or a little bit of even primer, it will stick to your eyelids. And it looks pretty thick and it lasts a long time. So I recommend. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite book this month, which is Just Kids by Patti Smith. I have actually read it before. I am rereading it after a long time. I just like re-found it, and it is such a good book. It's basically Patti Smith's retelling of her early 20s in New York City in 1967, which is a really cool time, and she's a struggling artist for a long time, and she has this beautiful lifelong partnership with this other artist, Robert Mapplethorpe, and they just have this great connection. It's really nice. It's a very moving book. I cried at the end even though I knew what was coming. And it's just so well written. I mean, she's a real poet. Her songs are, you can hear it in the lyrics. She's such a poet, so imagine, you know, her book it's really well written. It almost like transports you back to the time where she was like meeting all these cool people at the Chelsea Hotel. It's really cool. I recommend. Next I'm going to talk about TV shows. So I have two favorites this month. Netflix users, you'll be happy to hear they are both on Netflix. The first is The Twilight Zone. Yes, I know that this has been out for a while. It's from the late 50s, early 60s. But I had never really, you know, sat down and watched more than one episode. It's just really good. Each episode is just like a short, creepy story, I guess. And it's not scary in the way like modern movies are scary and stuff with like jump scares and all this realistic gore, because that stuff hadn't been invented, so it's just delightfully creepy for those of you who like creepy stuff but not hardcore scary stuff. And it has this really just nice, nostalgic 50s and 60s era vibe. The other show that I am going to talk about is called The Magicians. Only the first 2 seasons of it are on Netflix, so having to wait on the third, but it's just so good. It started out a little rocky, I will admit, but it definitely just picked the up. It's like kind of like a combination between Harry Potter and like the Chronicles of Narnia, and its own unique element too. The most bare bones explanation I can give, because the plot is very complex, is it's about a university, so a grad school, so they're a little older than Harry Potter, a grad school for magicians, who are basically people who can do magic, and there coexist another world, basically, called Fillory, which is very similar to Narnia. It's like a fantasy world, which can be entered through certain doorways on our world. Yeah, just really good, I will say. There are parts of it are pretty dark and kind of graphic. It's a lot darker than Harry Potter, but it's so good. The characters are just so compelling and great character development. I recommend it. Next thing I'm going to talk about is this product. It is Herbal Essence's Totally Twisted Curl Boosting Mousse. And it smells amazing, like all Herbal Essence's things, I feel. I've had curly hair my whole life, and just recently, within the past like year and a half, it's become very straight. And I don't like that. It's one of those, you know, I always wanted straight hair, but now that I have it, I'm like, fuck. No offense. But this just really, about like the day after, first day after I shower, because I don't wash my hair every day, my hair it's nice and curly, kind of like how it used to be, and I feel like it also makes my hair smoother, and I really like it, and I recommend it if you have a similar hair type to mine. I have pretty coarse, really thick hair. This just seems to work really well on it. The last thing that I'm going to be talking about is this podcast that I've been listening to. I'm kind of cheating because I have actually been listening to this podcast for a while now, but this is my first time making one of these videos, so I'm just going to talk about it now because I've been listening to it a lot this month. It is the Myths and Legends podcast. On this podcast, this guy tells the stories of myths and legends from different cultures all over the world. So they have like Native American stories, Viking stories, like Japanese stories. It's really interesting. They're all just like really awesome and fantastical, and have like witches and fairies, and he tells it in like in a way that's really funny, easy to understand, and hilarious. I can't really explain it, but he tells it in like a very like modern way. If you can't tell by now, if I'm really into fantasy stuff, and it's cool because a lot of those fantasy stories, particularly like Lord of the Rings, are based on a conglomeration of different myths and legends from all around the world. That's it. Those are my favorite things for this month of February. Yeah, I hope that you try some of these things out for yourselves and that you enjoy them as I have. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these things, what you think, if you have any recommendations. I mean, March is coming up, so let me know. And if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe because it makes my day. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!